Hello, everyone. Welcome in or welcome back to Blunt as F Tarot. It's your girl, Lindsay, here with the Overcoming Addiction spread for the collective. So it does not matter what sign you are. Take the messages if they resonate. If they do not resonate, please leave them for someone else who is watching. Guys, this is a general reading. So keep that in mind, y'all. Not every single message is going to be your message. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. With that said, I do offer personal readings. If you would like to book with me, I have this reading specifically. It's called the Overcoming Addiction Spread. You can check out my menu located in the description box of my channel. I also do a first-time customer discount of $10 off any reading over 40 if you would like to book a reading with me. And you can win a free reading or a crystal. Please hashtag personal read, crystal, or the word both in the comments, as well as like, share, and subscribe. So let's get down to it. Thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, for your messages. Please show the collective anything they need to see in order to overcome this addiction or this bad habit that they are facing. Thank you, angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. Well, we tried to do a split, but this deck is kind of small, y'all. All right, let's get to it. By the way, if you want to know the name of this deck, it is the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. The Dark Mirror. So, how do you remove any blockages that you have in your life right now? Atonement. Taking accountability for your sins, y'all. And I'm not a preacher or anything, so I don't know why I said sins, but I'm literally hearing atonement, taking accountability, atonement for your sins, right? And that's what I feel like your bad habits, the addictions that you've been inflicted with. And I say inflicted because it sounds like infected, right? An addiction is not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. It keeps you, infected. You're constantly feeling like you have knives in your back. Constantly feeling the worst when you are in an active addiction. And what do you need to know to overcome these blockages? How do you remove these blockages is the question. And the answer is very, very clear. It's by accepting what you've done wrong and forgiving yourself for your sins. Atonement for your transgression. Atonement for your addictions, any bad habits that you have, any wrongdoings that you've made, accepting it, believing it yourself that you've done this wrong or bad thing, and then moving forward, because you have to admit your wrongdoings, and that's where it starts. And in order to remove any blockages that you're having right now, collective, you have got to admit your wrongdoings. You cannot blame it on anybody else. Accountability is the word that I'm looking for. Taking accountability for your actions. What is holding you back, collective? Downcast pride. So your pride is literally what's holding you back. You don't want to be seen as someone that has an addiction. You don't want to be seen as someone that has a major affliction that, maybe you're a popular person. Maybe you're, highly seen in the community, or people value your opinion. Ooh, look at that. There goes a whole bunch of motorcycles. I love it. I don't know if y'all could hear that or not. But some of you could be motorcycle riders yourself. And you may be a very looked up to individual in your community. And I feel like what is holding you back from overcoming this addiction is the fact that you're not wanting to admit that you have this addiction in the first place, because you wouldn't want someone to see you as an addict. I've got somebody here that has been an addict in the closet for a while. And what is holding you back is your pride. The fact that you do not want someone to see you as an addict. That is literally what is holding you back. What action steps do you need to take to reach your goals? Colorless angel. Wow. So what I get from this card is really seeing yourself for exactly who you are. If you are colorless right now, if you don't have an ounce of happiness within you, accept it. See it for exactly what it is. If you feel like you don't have any support around you, okay, accept that, right? I know that sounds crazy, but accept that. If you feel like you're in this alone, accept that. And that is your key to moving forward. You have to accept where you're at. You have to accept the shitty things that you've done when you've been active in this addiction. Because some of you may not even be in it right now as I'm speaking. You're just watching this, to continue to overcome your addictions. But for somebody that I'm talking to, it's like the things that you've done, the things that you wish you could take back, it's time to accept those. It's time to take accountability for your wrongdoings. Set your pride to the side. Stop worrying about what other people are going to think. Yes, maybe you are highly looked up to or looked up at. You're a stellar figure in your community, a positive figure in your community, and you're worried, oh my God, what if these people find out that I'm an addict? Nobody's going to love me anymore. Like, who cares if other people love you, right? You have to get to this place where you love yourself enough to be happy with just you loving you. And it may cause people to walk away from you when they find out that you're an addict, yes. But who cares? Who gives a shit? Because that is the beginning of the end of people pleasing. The beginning of the end. And it is very, very freeing. All right, let's find out. Am I willing to change the way I have taught myself to live? Parasite. Ooh. I don't know. Are you willing? Because this card says no. This card is telling me that you want to continue down the path that you're on. Why? Because I think a lot of you guys are too prideful to admit that you are an addict. What do you need to know to live in a completely new way? Forgetting oneself. It's almost like you have to completely let go of the old version of you. Some of you are still trying to hang on to someone that you're not anymore. And it hasn't been working for you for quite some time, but for whatever reason, you're continuously holding on. What you need to do to live in a completely new way is forget about that old lifestyle. Accept who you were, accept who you are if you're currently still there. Admit your wrongdoings. Make up for those wrongdoings where you can, if it is possible. Learn and take away the valuable lessons from this addiction or affliction and move forward. Do not hang on to that old version of you. You have to remember, collective, as we grow, as we age, regardless if we have addictions or afflictions in our lives, we cannot keep hanging on to the old version of ourselves. We grow, we evolve. If we're still holding on to the old version, how can the new version come through? Right? It's a very simple question. It's like having a car in the garage. You got a one-car garage. You want another car. And this car that's in the garage is beat down. It doesn't even start. But you're not moving that car out of the garage. How do you expect a new one to come in? Do you see what I'm saying? If you're not letting go of this old version of you, this addict that you know is not serving you any longer, if you don't let go of that version, how is the new version of you supposed to come through? I feel like you're in this in-between stage right now. How does this addiction affect your actions and your emotions? I won't cry for you. So it's like you're emotionless here. How this addiction affects your emotions and your actions, you literally are frozen solid. I feel like you just shove all of your emotions down. And that's very, very unhealthy, because what does that manifest into? It manifests into disease in the body. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I mean, addictions can cause a lot of afflictions in your life, including disease. Addiction in itself is a disease. So years of pushing down your emotions while you currently have an active addiction is continuing to feed that addiction. I know, it's crazy, but that's what is happening here. Your actions are affected by the fact that you're frozen solid. You don't have a tear to shed for yourself or anybody else in this world, for that matter. Not that you should be shedding tears for other people, but it's like you're not feeling anything at all at this time. Let's go ahead and clarify with these cards and see what else you guys need to know for your best and highest good. Why is atonement here? As how the collective can remove any blockages. Why atonement, please? The Eight of Cups. Emotionally detaching from what no longer serves you. And what doesn't serve you anymore is hanging on to this older version of you. This addict. Maybe y'all have been, off of drugs or alcohol or whatever it is you're addicted to for years now. I'm getting 8 years for some of you. 8+ years. And you're still holding on to that addict version. Maybe you haven't been able to make up for the wrongdoings that you have done in your past. Spirit wants you to know that that's fine. Continue to be better than you were yesterday, and that's all that matters. Sometimes you can't make up for shit that happened in the past. Sometimes you just can't. Why is downcast pride here as what is holding the collective back? Well. The Hermit in the reverse, the Four of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So, with this, y'all, it's like you're not wanting to pull your energy back from the community. Remember how I said some of y'all have a high standard, or a lot of people look up to you in your community, and you don't want them to see you as an addict. They see you as a pillar of community, stability. They see you as inspirational. You don't want people to see you differently. You don't want your stability to be rocked. So you hold off from being a part of recovering or healing your affliction. Because the biggest thing that you need to do that is holding you back is admitting that you're an addict. And you don't want to admit that to yourself, because if you start to admit that to yourself, you would have to admit that to those around you. And that's not something that you're willing to do right now. That's not what I see. I see you continuously putting yourself out there, regardless of the way it makes you feel and how it affects this addiction in your life. Why is colorless angel here as the action steps that the collective needs to take to reach their goals? The Justice card. You need to seek balance, to find balance in your life. And how do you do that? Accept those parts of yourself that you do not like, those dark parts of yourself, that colorless angel. Accept it. Accept who you are and start moving forward. That's pretty much the bottom line. Quit worrying about what somebody may think of you, because that's what's holding you back. Why is parasite here? Why is the way the collective is willing to change the way they've taught themselves to live? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. So when I said, no, it doesn't look like you're willing to change the way you've taught yourself how to live, I mean that. Because look, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. You keep going towards these parasitic energies or toxic energies, if you will, and dismantling your stability, whether you know it or not. You think that everybody sees you as a stable individual, and they do see you as that, right? They see you as inspirational, stable, whatever else. But until you withdraw your energy and downcast your pride, that's actually not going to be true. It may, in fact, take people as seeing you as mentally unstable for you to actually turn this around, collective. Because right now, it doesn't look like you're willing to change the way you've taught yourself to live. You're not willing to untangle that emotional instability, which in turn is going to untangle your stability in the 3D, the physical stability, and it's going to have people seeing you differently. And I really pick up on somebody that is very prideful, very, very prideful, not wanting someone to know who they truly are. Why is forgetting oneself here as what you need to know to live in a completely new way, collective? The Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Forget that past version of you. You need to see the version that is coming through. The independent, stable, grounded, emotionally secure person. Let go of this codependent energy. Let go of thinking that you need a substance or you need a person to survive, because that just isn't true. What you need is your damn self. You need to step into this energy of independence, not codependence, to live in a completely new way. Why is I won't cry for you here for the collective? Five of Pentacles in reverse. This energy of being frozen, maybe shoving your emotions down, it has kept you from feeling isolated or feeling abandoned or feeling betrayed, neglected. Excuse me. But how it's affecting your actions and your emotions is it's like you're going through life on this even keel. Like you don't experience happiness, you don't experience sadness. You're just kind of floating by type of thing. And if that's what you need to do to survive, I understand. But like I'm saying, if you continue to push down those emotions that you don't want to experience, they're going to come out eventually. Moon energy. They're going to come out eventually. The secrets that you're hiding are going to be revealed eventually. Even if you don't want them to. Spirit needs you to change. Spirit needs you to completely let go of this addiction, this affliction. And if you choose not to, it's going to just continue to be a long battle with yourself. And that's all it will ever be. Because your soul wants one thing and your body, your mind, whatever, wants a whole nother thing. All right, collective, this is what I've got for you. I hope this reading helped. I'll see you on the next one.